Hi guys, this is Daniel, and I wanted to start out by saying thank you to all of you who've donated to the Sound of Us so far. It's been only a day when I'm making this video. I don't know when you're seeing it, and we already have some people supporting us, so it's really exciting. A lot of people are just really into the concept of what we're doing. I think they're getting it. I think they see the importance of what's happening right now and the importance of how we as artists need to react to what's happening right now in the US and in the world. And how unity, the unity that we're trying to accomplish through the Sound of Us, is more important than ever. So, I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for supporting us. And if you haven't yet supported us, please go do it now or not. But we would really like you to do it. Okay, and that's one thing I want to tell you. The other thing I want to tell you is the story of how the Sound of Us came to be. So here's a little bit of history. It actually started maybe 6 years ago. I was walking in Bogota, Colombia. That's the city where I am from. By the way, I'm holding you in my hand right now. As weird as maybe that is. Um, I was walking in Bogota, Colombia, which is where I'm originally from, and I was thinking about how it's, despite so many perceived differences between people in Colombia and people in LA, where I live now, at the end of the day, people want the same things and the same things out of life, and this becomes very apparent when you walk the streets of a big city. Everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants a good meal. Everybody wants to be loved and love somebody. Everybody wants a nice place to live in. So there are so many things that unite us. Everybody wants to love their children and their parents. And anyways, we go on and on about this, but basically, we all want essentially the same things out of life, and that's something that really unites us, despite the language that we speak, or despite some of the more superficial things that make us different. And so I just really wanted to shine a light on that thing that makes us the same. So I wrote a song. I actually came back to LA, and I got together with a friend of mine named Ilan Atias, who he sang for the Wailers for many times, and he's this really awesome singer. And he and I wrote this song called "All the Same," which basically touched on this subject that I'm mentioning. And the song was, it came out really, really nice, and we put it out. And then we wanted to do something in the artwork that would sort of um, let people know what the concept behind this was. So we did this. Let me see if I can show you. We did that. And that is the artwork for All the Same. So the idea behind this, here, I'll keep showing you. The idea behind this is that people from all walks of life would send us a photo. And so we got 150 photos. And actually, there's a meaning to that idea of 150 photos. So around that same time, I was reading a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point. And on The Tipping Point, he mentions this idea that if you have a group of 150 people that believe in any one idea, um, that's sort of like the ideal group for an idea, for something to spread. Whether it's a religion or whether it's a political view. And actually, he even talks about factories and how factories that have less than 150 employees are more efficient because all the people in that group are connected. When you get groups that are larger, then there's no connection between the parts because the groups are too large. So it turns into a situation where some people don't know other people that work in the same factory. But anyways, that's besides the point. So we decided to do 150 photos from 150 people from around the world uh, to sort of like start this idea, to sort of start to spread this idea of unity and this idea of all the same, meaning uh, at the end of the day, we are all the same. At the end of the day, we all want to be loved. We all want to be treated with dignity. Anyways, listen to the song, all the same. It's on YouTube. It's anywhere you listen to music, just look for it. All the same, Daniel Jimenez Afanador, or Daniel Jimenez Afanador, if that's easier to understand. Um, and so that's the idea of how all the same came to be here. I'll show you the artwork one more time. Yeah, so you can see that's 150 photos from 150 places around the world. Well, that's not necessarily true, actually. Not 150 places, because some of them came from the same town. Um, Anyways, so that was a few years back, and that's kind of how the idea of the sound of us came into being, which is I wanted to take it up a notch and um, this time not do it with photos but do it with sound, which is ultimately what my expertise is. And you may or may not know this about me, but I teach some music production classes. And one of the assignments that I give my students is I have them take their phones and go record sounds from around the campus and then use those sounds as musical instruments. So basically, go record a door, or go record a bird, or go hit the fence with a stick and see what sound you get, and then use that sound and turn it into music. So you could sort of see how all the ideas kind of came together. So the idea of uniting people, the idea that we're all essentially the same and that we need to kind of focus on the things that connect us rather than the things that separate us. The idea of having 150 people send you things from all over the world and use that as building blocks for something greater to kind of display that unity. I mean, in this case, we're not limiting to 150 people, but that was the number we chose back then. And then lastly, the idea that you can take any sound and turn it into music. I mean, that's the beauty of technology. I think it's pretty amazing that we can do that. And so, of course, I started practicing on doing that, and I'm at the point where, like, I think that's where it's at. You know, getting all of your sounds that mean something to you, that represent you, and then taking those and making a whole album out of that. So I think this is a really special idea. I cannot wait to do this, and I want it to be big. I think that it's really really important that we do this. It's really important not only for me, but I really think it's important for the community, for the arts community, for this country, for the world. I turn on the news and see what's going on, and I feel like I really need to have a response to that, and that response is something that I will have with your help. So, thank you for supporting the sound of us. Thank you for listening to me tell you about how this idea came into being, and for I hope you get to listen to all the same. And let's stay in touch. Okay, bye.